NBA free agency is just 2 days away, so we are here with the latest Lakers rumors and some news on today's show. I am Tom Downey. The rumors are hot, and so is the news. We begin with a rather expected move, but does seem like this one is, although not officially official, it's going to be official soon. Jared Vanderbilt will be back as a member of the LA Lakers. ESPN reports team plans to pick up the $4.7 million team option on Vanderbilt, which I think is a bit of a no-brainer. Acquired before the trade deadline from the Utah Jazz, I thought Vanderbilt was a nice back-end addition to the Lakers' big man / he can play some wing for you as well. Maybe he wasn't as impactful in LA as he was in Utah, although, his usage rate does dip because, Utah was bad. Or not as good, I should say. And LA had Anthony Davis and LeBron James, etc. Now, what is noteworthy for Vanderbilt, and we'll see how it all plays out this upcoming season, his minutes and his numbers overall dipped in the playoffs. He kind of got phased out a little bit. Minutes per game dropped down to 16.5. His points per game plummeted to 4.5. And he did not shoot very well either. You need a little bit better three-point shooting out of Jared Vanderbilt. If he had played better, if several others had played better, maybe that Western Conference Finals would have been a little bit different for LA this year. Now, we gained over 100 subs on yesterday's video. Thank you all so much. So now we are just 88 away from 51,000 here on the Lakers Report. So let's get there. You want more free Lakers videos, all the coverage you could ever want throughout NBA free agency? Hit that sub button right now. Let's move now to Fred VanVleet as ESPN did this, so don't blame us if you don't like it. If you do like it, we'll take all the credit for you. They cooked up a 3-team trade idea in which VanVleet ends up coming to the Los Angeles Lakers. So let's break down this, I would say, somewhat convoluted trade here. The Lakers get Fred VanVleet. Duh, of course. That certainly makes some sense, right? The Raptors then get Tyus Jones and Bamba. The Wizards get Malik Beasley and a 2030 first-round pick that is top 10 protected. Yeah, the Lakers can only trade so many picks, I suppose. Now, to make this work as part of the sign-in trade, the Lakers would need to pay Fred VanVleet roughly $34.5 million. You can ebb and flow a little bit. If you want to guarantee the Shaquille Harrison contract, you'd be able to adjust it even a little bit more from that perspective to balance it. But it's a lot of money to pay FVV. And ESPN did not mention what it would mean for D'Angelo Russell. I would say maybe you'll let him leave, or maybe you do a different sign-in trade with him. I'm not entirely sure what they were planning with him, since Fred VanVleet would take over as your starting point guard if you were to acquire him. He is going to be in demand this NBA free agency cycle. A lot of buzz on the Rockets being a top potential fit for VanVleet, who I think would be a really nice piece alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, although it would be very expensive money-wise. I think giving up Bamba and Malik Beasley and a pick 7 years from now, isn't really that much to give up. Plus, it's top 10 protected in the event you're rebuilding in that time frame. Beasley and Bamba aren't going to be, I think, huge pieces for you, so I don't mind that trade. Would you do it, though? I want to hear from you guys. Would you accept that trade to get FVV in LA? A for accept, D for decline. I for one, like that trade for the Lakers. I think the big issue is there are whispers, rumors out there that VanVleet might get $40 million a year from a team like the Houston Rockets, which would be a fairly significant deal. Also is worth mentioning, his efficiency did drop this past year. His assists per game went up. That's awesome. Wasn't a 20-point scorer like he was back in 2021 to 2022. Field goal percentage dropped by a percentage point. 3-point percentage dropped by 3.5, which the 34.2 was the low the last 4 years. That is, if not, freak out worthy, it mildly concerning from that perspective. But you do want another ball handler if you are LA, and I think VanVleet offers a bit better defense than D'Angelo Russell. That's my guy, but that's not a low bar. It's not a high bar to clear. Maybe a little bit more playmaking and a bit more consistency as well. A potential starting lineup of LeBron, VanVleet, AD, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura is really interesting and really intriguing. I'm just not sure the Lakers will actually end up with VanVleet. I do wonder if ESPN did that just so people like us would talk about the Lakers and that article and that trade idea. Now, NBA free agency is 2 days away, and we here at Chat Sports are going to have you covered. We will be live on Friday once free agency gets started. Be live a little bit earlier before it begins as well. We'll have constant updates, news, rumors, trade buzz. There will be a lot of trade. That's how free agency works in the NBA. It's a wild couple weeks here, and we've got you covered. So go subscribe to the Chat Sports YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. Another free agency idea, this time from Bleacher Report. They named Josh Richardson as the top free agent target the Lakers should pursue, which is interesting. Then they're going for a cheaper option in Richardson. So let's break down what they wrote and how I feel about it. As much as many will employ him to target another big name or another big or off-the-bounce flyer, we mustn't overthink this. First off, who uses terms like mustn't in 2023? Whatever. You're right, producer Sam. That is just nerd stuff. The Lakers need two-way wings. Any two-way wings. Actually, properly sized wings. Not guards masquerading as wings. Ooh, look at me and my big words. Or combo bigs imitating wings. Wings. Period. Now I'm hungry. Josh Richardson satisfies that need. He had enough of the threes last year to improve LA's floor balance, 36.5%, and can still create the occasional jumper for himself. His defensive workload is most effective against small initiators. Jared Vanderbilt will be thrilled, but he can rumble with power wings too. Richardson played for 2 teams last year, Spurs and the New Orleans Pelicans. Was a bit more efficient in New Orleans, at least in three-point percentages. Not nearly as involved. Pelicans, again, were a bit of a better team than the Spurs were because, Spurs got the number 1 overall pick. They were tanking for much of the year. I don't hate that idea. I don't know if I would make Josh Richardson my first free agent target. What year is it? Is he back with the Heat again? I do kind of think big is actually maybe a bigger priority, but 3-and-D wings are always a good thing to go pursue if you are LA. So what do you guys think? Should the Lakers sign Josh Richardson? S, if you want to sign him. P, if you'd pass and you pursue somebody else. I would not be mad if they added Richardson. That's fine. It probably wouldn't be overly expensive. I just wonder if they're better off pursuing a bigger name or a bigger player even. So sound off in the comments. Let's move to Jonas Valanciunas now. Fansided pitched the idea amid some of the recent trade rumors on JV, which we'll break down here in a little bit, because Yahoo Sports' Jake Fischer says the Pelicans have been shopping him for a more rim-protecting center. Now, I will make note, if you're adding Jonas Valanciunas and you're the Lakers, I don't think Mo Bamba would satisfy the rim-protecting center idea that the Pelicans would be pursuing there. So you'd probably have to work in a third team, and they did not pitch a trade idea. Fansided did not. So I'm not entirely sure how you make that all work in the short term, long term. Here's what Jason Reed of Fansided wrote. LA desperately lacked size last season, and one of the key reasons why the team fell short so easily against the Denver Nuggets was the lack of reliable bigs outside of Anthony Davis. Valanciunas would solve that problem for the Lake Show and would help in so many more ways. Not only would help take some of the load off of AD, but he would also open up more avenues on offense as well. I do think adding another big should be a large priority for the LA Lakers. Under contract for now, and again, free agency trades, options, RFAs, cap holds, there are other ways to get bigs. It's just Anthony Davis, Jared Vanderbilt, and Mo Bamba. Now, I do believe that Anthony Davis impacts his team in a bigger way when he's healthy and able to play the 5. But you do still want another backup or rotation or borderline starter at center, and Valanciunas would offer that. I would like to point out that I don't know really how much more he's going to stay at a high level. You saw the drop-off last year in the points, in the rebounds, in the three-point percentages. He's 31 years old. He just turned 31 back in May. So I wouldn't overcommit to Valanciunas, but if you could ship out that Beasley Bamba or some combination of it to make the money work however it does and get a better upgrade at center, then yeah, I would have interest in that. So the Lakers have options. I'm excited to see how it all plays out. I'm sure you guys are too. So make sure you are subscribed.